The transport ship Horizon shuddered violently as laser fire ripped through the void. Flames burst from ruptured panels, sending sparks raining down on the cramped cockpit. I clutched my mother's hand, my small fingers trembling as alarms blared in my ears. "Eli, shields are failing!" My mother, Kara, shouted over the chaos, her voice laced with desperation. "I know!" My father, Eli, slammed his fist against the console, forcing the failing engines to give one last push. Through the viewport, the vastness of space was alive with death. Rebel and Alliance warships clashed in a brutal display of destruction, their weapons painting streaks of fire across the void. We'd only been traders, scavengers searching the stars for anything of value. We never chose a side. But today war had found us. A blast rocked the ship, and I screamed as I was thrown against the bulkhead. My mother pulled me into her arms, shielding me from the shower of debris. Blood ran down my father's forehead as he turned, eyes locking onto us. "Kara, we're not getting out of this," Eli whispered, his voice barely audible over the silence. Kara's jaw tightened, her eyes shining with defiance. "We still have one chance." She reached for the nav console, fingers shaking as she punched in coordinates. "Jesse, listen to me." She cupped my face, her hands warm despite the cold terror in my chest. "We found something, an abandoned station. It's safe. You have to go there." "No, I want to stay with you," I sobbed, clinging to her. Eli knelt beside me, placing a firm hand on my shoulder. "You have to be strong, son. Stronger than us." He turned to the ship's AI, its flickering holographic display barely holding form. "Set autopilot to the station. As soon as the escape pod launches, override manual control. He has to make it." "Acknowledged," the AI responded in a fractured voice. Kara kissed my forehead, her tears mixing with mine. "We love you. Never forget that." A final explosion ripped through Horizon, the viewport shattering as the hull was breached. Alarms screeched in warning, but the only sound I heard was the roaring vacuum, stealing the air from my lungs. My mother's arms left me. My father's voice faded, and then darkness. The escape pod blasted away from the dying transport, spiraling toward the coordinates my parents had set. Through the small viewport, I watched as Horizon was consumed by fire. The rebel warship that had fired the final shot didn't even slow down. It had already moved on to its next target. I pressed my forehead against the cold glass, my breath hitching in silent sobs. I was alone in the void, and the only thing keeping me alive was a course set for an abandoned station, one that held secrets beyond anything I could imagine.